Everybody, it has finally happened. Not only are we getting the first new mainline 2D Mario from the past 11 years, but the style of 2D Mario is finally changing as well for the first time in 17 years since the release of New Super Mario Bros. On the DS back in 2006. In the last Nintendo Direct, we learned that we are getting, later this year, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and I could not be happier with the direction that Nintendo seems to be taking 2D Mario with this game. And with it looking like this is going to usher in a brand new era of 2D Mario, I'd like to talk about in this video how this could change 2D Mario as a franchise forever. This video is going to be divided into 3 main parts. The first is going to be talking about this game's new art style, which, by the way, I absolutely love. The second is going to be talking about what we've heard of this game's music and how it compares to that of past 2D Mario games. And the final section of this video is going to be talking about this game's mechanics, which will probably take up the bulk of the video. Timestamps are in the description, so you can jump around to whatever portion of the video you want. And keep in mind, as always, that this video is comprised entirely of my opinions, and if you guys have different opinions on Super Mario Bros. Wonder, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. I would absolutely love to see what you guys think about this game. Now, with all that out of the way, let's roll the intro and get into how Super Mario Bros. Wonder could change the 2D Mario franchise as we know it forever. So now let's jump into this game's new art style, which is unlike anything we have ever seen in Mario before. It almost looks like they took the best parts of the new Super Mario Bros. Art style and then made it all more cartoony, and it suits Mario perfectly in my opinion. The way all the 3D models are presented, as well as how the lighting engine works, really makes everything almost look like it's hand-drawn. And Mario's animations in this game look the most expressive we've seen outside of the Mario movie. Everything in the game just looks like it's so full of life, especially after the new Super Mario Bros. Game's art styles, which look, to be honest, like everything's just made of plastic. Even the backgrounds are so much more detailed than we've ever seen before in 2D Mario. They all have multiple different layers, and they seem like really inspired locations instead of just the bland, standard desert, grassland, water themes that we got in the previous 2D Mario games. There was even one clip we got that just had giant mushrooms all throughout the background, looking almost like it's the Mushroom Kingdom forest from the Mario movie. The background will even change to correspond to what you're doing in the foreground. In the clip where Mario gets what I assume is going to be called a Wonder Flower, you can see that the pipes in the background of the level move around just like the ones that are in the foreground that you can actually interact with. I mean, seriously, this game is just bursting at the seams with charm. We have talking flowers, roller skating Koopa Troopas, and Mario turns into an elephant. I would have never dreamed that these things would be in a new 2D Mario game, and yet here we are. Nintendo has surprised us once again. And the fact that we're now getting a new 2D Mario art style, especially one that's such a divergence from the one that we've had for almost the past 2 decades, really makes me think that Nintendo is finally no longer afraid to take risks. Sure, a few risks have been taken during the Switch era. In fact, a few big ones have. I mean, going back to sandbox style of Mario, going into an open world format for Zelda, those are incredibly big risks for Nintendo. But the thing is, other than that, and just in general, it seems like throughout this entire lifespan of this console, Nintendo has been really playing it safe because they were so afraid of a failure like the Wii U. At this point, you've heard me talk about this so many times on this channel, but I feel like the Switch itself is pretty much devoid of almost any charm. Themes, all we have is basic white, basic black. No menu music, no eShop music, no Mii's except for in the system settings instead of in their own channel. I feel like there's so much missed opportunity with the Switch, and I feel like Nintendo purposely did that in order to make sure they played it the safest way possible when launching their new console. But now, with this new 2D Mario game, Nintendo could have very easily just decided to make another new Super Mario Bros. Entry. I mean, those games sell incredibly well. Look at the sales numbers of U Deluxe. It is still one of the most sold games on the Switch. But instead, they took a risk. They changed up the formula. They gave us something new, and the result was something that, in my opinion, looks like it could be one of the best 2D Mario games ever. But now let's move on to the admittedly small amount of music that we've heard from this game and how it differs from a lot of 2D Mario music that we've heard in the past. And wow, is the music different, finally! You can't hear a single in the entire trailer, and I could not be happier about it. Not to mention the music itself itself doesn't really sound as electronic as it did in the past. You can hear what sounds like it's a live guitar playing in 2 of the songs that you hear in the trailer. And overall, the music just feels a lot more grounded, and in my opinion, it just sounds so much better than the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I'm not sure who did the music for this game, but I would not be surprised at all if it was Koji Kondo, as this sounds as good as a lot of his previous works. The music from when you get the Wonder Flower also reminded me a lot of Super Paper Mario music, which in my opinion is some of the best music in the Paper Mario series, so that is a very welcome addition. One of the things I'm honestly the most excited about for this game is hearing the rest of its soundtrack, cause in the 3 songs that we heard in the trailer, we can already tell there's a bit of variety throughout the different songs that are going to be in this game, and I'd love to see all the different styles that are incorporated throughout the OST. Even the theme for completing a level has me excited to see if that style of music is in some of the full level themes, as that sounds a lot like the big band style that's in 3D World music, which is some of my favorite Mario music of all time. Just like the art style for this game, the music just feels so much more alive than a lot of the recent 2D Mario themes, and it's brought a breath of fresh air to the way the game feels in my opinion. And the more I rewatch this trailer and I see all the different environments that you'll be able to explore and hear all the different music themes, I am getting so excited for this game, and October cannot come around soon enough. But something I am equally excited about is what we've seen so far of this game's mechanics, because they bring back some things from previous Mario games that were incredibly fun, as well as introduce some new concepts that I cannot wait to try out. One thing that had myself and many others concerned regarding the concept of a new 2D Mario was the fact that it needed to not be recreatable in Mario Maker. That way this new game just wouldn't be completely obsolete. And if you look at the footage that we got from this trailer, there's no way this could be recreated in Mario Maker. And a lot of this comes down to Mario's new moveset, as it actually combines a lot of aspects from the different 2D Mario games we've gotten throughout the years. And it seems like it's kind of a combination of the movesets that we got in Mario 3 and Mario World, as well as in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Of course, there's still the ground pound, the wall jump, the twirl, a lot of the standard things we've come to expect from modern 2D Marios, but there's also the return of the P-Run, which originated in Mario 3 and was also in Super Mario World. Now, if you don't know what the P-Run was, in Mario 3, if you were to run without being interrupted in one direction, you'd eventually start going much faster and Mario would stick his arms out to the side, and that's because your P meter would fill up. Now, the meter itself was removed in Super Mario World, but the functionality still remained the same. And just like it affected the raccoon suit back in Mario 3, it also affected the cape feather in Mario World, allowing you to fly for an extended period of time. And while we don't know if there will be any power-ups that will be affected by it in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, we do see in this clip that very clearly Mario does have a P-Run. Mario starts running, and after a short amount of time, he ends up getting a speed boost and sticks both of his arms out to his sides. He then does a jump, and he sticks his belly out, which is exactly what Mario does when he jumps in the middle of a P-Run back in Mario 3, and you can tell the way he's animated is almost identical to how he was in that game. Not only that, but the physics of how Mario's jumps work seem to be very similar to how they were in Mario 3 and Mario World as well, which honestly I prefer. I absolutely love the movement in those games, and combining that with the modern Mario traits, such as the twirl, ground pound, and wall jump, I feel like would be an absolute blast. But now that we're done talking about these returning mechanics, let's talk about some of the new things that this game brings to 2D Mario, and some of these I am so happy about. Starting off with the fact that there's now one new addition to Mario's moveset, as well as the movesets of all the other characters, and that is that they're all able to use their hats to glide around, which in my opinion sounds like it will be a super fun mechanic, and I can't wait to try it out. Another thing I'm super excited about is that there's now no timer in the levels. Well, except for this one, but I'm pretty sure this is some sort of enemy encounter, so I'm not going to count it. I am so happy you no longer have to race against the clock in these levels, and you're able to actually enjoy the scenery and take your time with the platforming. The live counter has returned, though I kinda hope that it functions more like it does in 3D World than it does in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, just because it's a little bit of a hindrance having to replay through multiple other levels if you've gotten a game over. One thing I noticed with this clip from the trailer is that you might actually have to do things on the world map itself in order to get from level to level, similar to the Splatoon games and their story modes. And this is a concept that I absolutely love. It makes the world map feel like it's a hub world in its own level, rather than just a vessel for getting to the actual levels of the game. Though I'm not gonna get my hopes up that that's what this is, because there is still a linear path that you have to follow to get from level to level, and you can even see it in that clip. So this might just be an animation for going from world to world. This game also looks like it could be taking a little bit of inspiration from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, as when you press an on or off switch, it'll turn the lights of the level on or off, and you'll be set into a silhouette level, just like those found in Tropical Freeze. And speaking of Tropical Freeze, just like that game, it looks like Mario Bros. Wonder will also utilize the foreground, background, and the main layer of the game. This clip right here shows us that we will 100% be able to go into the foreground. However, whether or not we'll be able to go into the background of the level is a little bit harder to discern. In this level that we see in the trailer, you can see in the background there are a bunch of blocks and pipes that it looks like you can platform across, and they're different from just the standard background. I think this could mean that there could be sections in levels where you can't progress on the main depth layer, so you have to go down a pipe that will take you to the background, similar to how they do in Super Paper Mario. However, the trailer itself doesn't outright confirm this, so we won't be sure until we get more information on the game. Purple coins, similar to those in Mario Odyssey, also now exist in 2D Mario, but I have no idea what they're going to be used for. Originally, I had thought, oh, they might be used for different outfits, just like they were in Odyssey. However, there's a decimal point next to the purple coin counter, so I have no idea what the heck this could mean. So let me know what you think they could be down in the comments below. There are a few new cool level objects as well that I thought I could mention, such as the fact that instead of star coins, we now have wonder seeds, there are waterfalls that you're able to swim up, and there are these new speed boost platform things that you're able to also ride from below. All these levels and the different objects within them I feel like will be so fun to traverse, and I absolutely cannot wait to get my hands on this game to play through them. But we couldn't go this whole video without talking about Mario's new transformation ability, which in my opinion is absolutely insane. It's basically like they brought the capture ability from Mario Odyssey into 2D. In the trailer alone, we see Mario turn into an elephant, a spiky ball, and some kind of weird stretchy thing that we only get to see in the silhouette section. However, in one of the promotional images that Nintendo has released for the game, you get to see that Toad has turned into a Goomba, which means you might be able to turn into multiple different enemies throughout the game, which is a gimmick I can't wait to see more of, because I am really interested to see how this will work in 2D, because once again, it's basically just Odyssey's capture mechanic. But what do you all think? Do you think this is going to be the worst 2D Mario game because you wanted to play new Super Mario Bros. Games for the rest of time? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, then why don't you press the like button? If you got all the way to the end of the video, you probably did like it. And if you want to see more content like this on both Mario games and just Nintendo stuff in general, make sure to subscribe to get notified whenever I upload more videos. And for all of you still listening, I have a little bit of a special announcement. I now have a Discord server. That's right, it is fully up and running, and the link to it will be in the pinned comment down below. So make sure to check it out if you just want to chat with some other Nintendo fans. Now with all that out of the way, thank you all for watching. I'm Jacob with the Game Block, signing off.